I hope to Jehovah Jireh I'm in focus right now. Please, God. I worry I will never be able to understand what Illmatic really means to hip-hop and music history as a whole. It came out almost a decade before the earth was blessed with my beautiful behind, and I still regularly feel and hear and see the aftershocks of that monumental LP in pop culture today. This, I swear, is a video about Earl Sweatshirt. It's a video about today. It's a video about everything that led up to those two things. Very briefly, Modernism was an artistic and philosophical movement that began in the late 19th and early 20th century. It emphasized individual experience and perspective, turning its back to big, revelatory ideas and answers from God or any of the other names we gave God: love, pride, science, etc. For my money, the quintessential modernist quote is from Virginia Woolf's To the Lighthouse, in which she writes, "The great revelation had never come. The great revelation perhaps never did come. Instead, there were little daily miracles, illuminations, matches struck unexpectedly in the dark, chills. Every time." Nas, like Wolf, like Fitzgerald before him, isn't particularly interested in mapping a wholly universal experience. He understands the value in the self. He understands in describing his subjective experience of New York, he has a much better chance of connecting with something far deeper in people. Let's make one thing clear. We're going to be talking about modernism, postmodernism, etc. These are vast concepts that apply to a plethora of fields. Plethora? I'm not American, fuck that shit. Thomas Flight, top 10 white man of the decade by the way, made a great piece in regards to movies that I recommend. I might have actually subconsciously written this as a sort of companion piece to his. When I bring up these concepts, I do so meaning their general essence or characteristic, not necessarily the time period or context. If I was, all of hip hop would automatically be postmodern because of when the genre started, which, while a fair argument, isn't really all that interesting or worth exploring to me. Because truthfully, I have no idea how these concepts apply to something like architecture or politics or even music production. I don't know what separates a modern sample from a postmodern sample. All I have in my brain are words. Words that build lineages, words that leap from generation to generation, planting seeds along the way. And when Nas asks, "Whose world is this?" and then answers, "The world is yours," he's to me making a modernist stance, claiming that the way in which we view the world is to some extent the world. Or as AZ put it on Life's a Bitch, I'm gonna butcher this word, oh my god, keeping this Shrepervescence street ghetto essence inside us, because it provides us with the proper insight to guide us. On Illmatic, Nasir is telling me the story of his life, of his world, kaleidoscopic, full of character and tragedy. He's building something bigger than himself, but solely through himself. He is finding those illuminations, those tiny, numerous answers to the few big questions. When a cop lords his power over another man, when a judge ruins a man's life for a non-violent offense, when a man falls to the ground, his spirit leaking from a knife wound, Nas sees it all. I don't think I was jumping the gun in calling him modernist. In one way or another, I think all art is our attempt at mapping the human experience. For Nas and many others, the human experience was one marked by suffering. It's natural then for us to try and look for a miracle, a Hail Mary from some entity larger and more powerful than us. But Illmatic, as I see it, isn't interested in saving people. Nas isn't looking to the sky for answers. In the grimy, unpretentious production, in the proclamatory yet stream of consciousness lyricism, he's looking directly ahead. His breath carries the scent of weed. There are pigeons pecking at nothing behind him. To his left, a homeless man strumming a guitar by an empty hat. The train doors are opening. He steps forward. He's got places to be. It's New York, man. New York, baby. All right, get it out of the way now. You will hear some beeps. I'm in a place where I can't really take care of the beeps. Don't complain about it. Be a man up. Case in point. Okay. Take everything I said, piss on it, feed it to your mother, tell her you love her. Postmodernism came as the backlash to modernism around the 1970s. There are a lot of great definitions by people. There are a lot of great definitions by people leagues smarter than any one person should be, but my favorite definition is from an aged, wise, sagely scholar known to only a select few as Moist Robot from Reddit. My lord and savior Moist Robot from Reddit characterized postmodernism by irony, cynicism, uncertainty, openness to uncertainty, knowingness, sophistication, powerlessness despite our knowingness and sophistication, a defeatist indulge of pleasure and humor, expressed in art with a high degree of intertextuality and hybridization in pastiche, bricolage, remix, satire, parody, and pop culture references. Unlike with Illmatic, I have some understanding of what the Marshall Mathers LP meant to hip-hop and music history as a whole. It's not a lot. The album came out a full 3 years before the world would hear my breathtaking cry crack open the heavens like fireworks. But my early years existed within the context of that white man's cultural supremacy. I remember being 9 or 10 and my big cousin showing me no love, splitting my head open and pouring in the wonders of good rapping. The Marshall Mathers LP was in some ways a loogie spat on good taste and the old guard. The album is aware of this. Eminem features his manager Paul Rosenberg at his wit's end from Shady's antics. He zips from mocking Bill Clinton to telling his mother to bend over and take it like a slut to criticizing middle America for only caring about gun violence when privileged white kids are the ones being shot, to voicing himself and his weeping wife in a 6-minute short story during which he takes said ex-wife, mother of his child by the way, to the woods and slits her throat for cheating. Why does he kill Dr. fucking Dre and lock him in the basement before playing audio of Dre struggling through a gag? Why did he voice his screaming wife himself instead of hiring an actress the way Kendrick would 2 decades later? Why, God help us, why is it that after he's told he can't rap about cocaine anymore, he gets angry at women and starts prepping to choke them? What did women do? Nothing is sacred on the Marshall Mathers LP. He's joking about murder and assault and incest and school shootings and all the world's ills with the grace of a toddler wielding a bazooka. As he says on the 7th track, he is whatever you say he is. There is no meaning to any of this, no purpose. If you asked for it, I imagine he'd gesture to the world around him, burning from war and self-hatred and evil men in power. And then he'd use the flames to light his cigarette. He's looking at you, eyes vacant, smile stretching to both sides of his face, which quivers from the flames reds and oranges, waiting for you to get the joke. And of course you don't get the joke. How could you? How could he? He's being horrible. And of course you realize that's the joke. It's on you. Nice little beep there to accentuate what I just said. You know what time it is. Gang, gang. Gang, gang. No cat's eye. Am I done? Cool. On X, I can't sleep. Monday. Sync up here. As far as I'm concerned, Earl Sweatshirt's quintessential line is, I found the middle in a bit of balance, off of one of the greatest songs of all time, E.Coli. That's kind of been the story he's told his entire career, hasn't it? Trying to straddle the fence between the earnest desire to love and be loved, and the fact that this existing thing can quite often feel like a joke for which we'll be spending our entire lives waiting on the punchline. Metamodernism as a term was first used by, I'm so sorry dude, Masoud Zavardazeh. Did I cook? No? Fair enough. In 1975. Dude. Is that a woman? I apologize, bro. But in 2010, Dutch cultural theorists Timotheus Vermeulen and Robin van den Akker, which I must say are astoundingly Dutch-sounding names, spread the term metamodernism far and wide into the cultural lexicon. Think Wes Anderson, think David Foster Wallace, think John Oliver, Dan Harmon, BoJack Horseman, neuroscientist, I'm doing terribly with names today, I'm so sorry, Anne-Laure Leconf. Whoa, okay, alright, slay, said of metamodernism. At its core, metamodernism is about ambiguity, reconstruction, dialogue, collaboration, and creative paradox. It's about allowing yourself to be many different people at once. It's about speaking through the work of everyone who you are sampling from in order to amplify their voice. It's about being a curator with a unique creative vision. It took the purpose and nuance and aimfulness of modernism and married it with the acceptance of and even lust for absurdity we got in the postmodern era. By the way, as I say these words, please know I hear myself. I know how I sound. You're not crazy. I lost the plot along with my mind this summer. I'm just trying to see how much ink I have left. Earl Sweatshirt, at the time of his breakout mixtape Earl, was most definitely an effect of postmodernism. He and Tyler the Creator and Frank Ocean were born in it, a generation raised by South Park and Eminem. But something happened in 2018. Some rap songs, somehow even darker and more soaked in defeat than his earlier releases like Doris and I Don't Like Shit, I Don't Go Outside, ended with an homage to his parents and uncle, a sort of quiet triumph, as Fantano put it, a whispered, "I'm not alone." Earl, it seemed, had begun growing up. And it brings us to his most recent album. As of the time of recording this, Earl Sweatshirt, barely a week ago, released his 6th solo record titled Live, Laugh, Love. Let's just climb the elephant in the room. This is the same guy who regularly calls himself Brad Pitt, from the same camp as Tyler the fucking Creator. There's no way he unironically titled this album Live, Laugh, Love. When you, as I encourage everyone to, listen to some rap songs and Live, Laugh, Love back to back, an odd dichotomy starts to brew. The two LPs are kind of a yin and yang. The former is titled, ironically, a young man using understated humor and nonchalance as a buoy over his despair. The now iconic album cover is blurry, but you can tell he's laughing, a flash of teeth in the smudge. Whereas Live, Laugh, Love is named after the white woman Pledge of Allegiance. The album cover is clear. He's staring straight at you. Holy shit. He's being serious. As for the album's listening experience, well, it isn't too different from his earlier releases in that it's a stream of consciousness sort of ordeal. Where it diverts is in tone or maybe direction. The beat loops on Live Laugh are places to reside in, the oral equivalent of sunbeams illuminating floating dust particles in a wardrobe, and his writing is even more morbidly beautiful than usual. On Well Done, he says he's been baptized in the fires of flaw and failure, and he's been mining through himself, gumboots, the bottom started to melt some, he felt stuck. On exhaust, he paid every time he wasn't righteous, and probably my favorite line on Crisco, Mama say his face ain't look like yours, it's on the floor, go out and scrape him off it. Sweatshirt fans, sweatheads if you will, no one calls us that, have been for years praising the rapper for his growth and how much healthier and present he's been sounding compared to some rap songs. But on Live, Laugh, Love, he really, in a very meaningful way, comes alive. It feels like the culmination of an almost decade-long arc. Some rap songs was colored with his past. Live, Laugh, Love is colored with his future. Earl Sweatshirt is a dad now, a husband. The time for irony, for feeling above it all, has passed. Irony, as David Wallace and Lewis Hyde said, is the song of a bird who has come to love its cage. And Earl Sweatshirt told Russ Carano, nigga, what? What are these names? And Earl Sweatshirt told Russ Carano of Sense, I feel like the goal of my life has been to stay alive long enough for all of the cliches to become profound. There is, frustratingly, not that much study on modernism and the like in regards to rap. There's no shortage for paintings, architecture. Hell, I encountered a paper talking about why the Deadpool movie is postmodern. And of course, there are tons of these kind of studies for literature, but rap is literature. Everything from Future rapping about stealing your girl to Billy Woods chronicling the unmiraculousness of modernity, all of it comprises a document of what it's like to be a human being. All of it is worth dissecting. Or maybe it doesn't matter. I won't pretend to not hear how pretentious all of this sounds. People are just trying to clock out and vibe, Tosin. Not everyone's so desperate to drive themselves into a headache. It's fair enough, of course. I guess to me, it's important that we record and give names to changes in culture and the way we think. It gives us context for the past and for the future, helps us imagine our children and our forefathers with nuance, with grace. Because I don't know what will happen after metamodernism. I don't know what Lil Pookie Bear from Mayfield, Wisconsin will drop in 2045 to turn everything on its head. I just know what we've built up to and what I think we're building towards. Artists like Nas unfurled the world. Artists like Eminem scrambled it. And artists like Earl are putting the pieces back together. Some pieces are missing, some are broken irreparably, The full image isn't quite what it used to be, but its mere existence is saying something. It's saying being a human being sucks. Being a human being will likely always suck, and our brains will put us through hell, and the people we give power to will try and use it against us. And what we are is all we can be, and we must accept this, and we must accept this, and we must live in spite of and with it, and we must show love and kindness to each other, and when possible, because it will not always be possible, we must laugh. God help us. We must laugh.
If I learn something, that makes me
Still learning?
yeah. I learned something.
Stammering makes recording so hard, dude. I hate this job. It's not a job. No one's paying me for this shit, nigga. Wow. Wasn't that absolutely just something else? And you know what's crazy? I have a... I should have written this down. I have a short story you can read for free on my Patreon, which is not free. It's $2 a month. But your short story is free. And the Patreon, if you're there, you might as well just cop that. But you know, that's just where I'm at with it. What do I know about this stuff? I also have books that I haven't promoted in a while, but they're on Amazon. They're like $4 for the ebook version. You can get those. I think they're pretty chill. They're young adults if that's what you're into. Honestly, go to church, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Pray to God. Read your Bible. Study your books. Listen to your teachers. Fuck bad bitches. Do drugs, gamble. It'll make you happy. I swear to God.